Ex-Army Ranger, NFL player has a Memorial Day message every American should see. It might be easy to forget amid the sale, the barbecues, and the beginning of a summer hype, but Memorial Day is the day US government has officially set aside for every American to take a moment to grieve and mourn for the men and women in all branches of US military who have lost their lives in the service to this great nation. Sadly, the true reason for the national holiday and 3-day weekend is too often forgotten or overlooked by too many Americans, which is why it is good sometimes to be reminded of the ultimate sacrifice that more than 1 million Americans have made over the decades and centuries to protect our cherished freedoms and a way of life. One such message was recently put forward by a former U.S. Army Ranger turned National Football League player, Alejandro Villaneuva, an offensive lineman for Pittsburgh Steelers. His spoken word essay about the Memorial Day mean to him it was recorded by ESPN and produced in a beautiful, touching, even heartbreaking video that was shared on social media. The holiday means different things to different people. For those of us who served, the meaning is pretty obvious, Villanova said, as scenes of Arlington National Cemetery were displayed. Sports Center tweeted, "He remembered those who were lost, who made the ultimate sacrifice." U.S. Army veteran and Steelers OT Alejandro Villaneuva shares a powerful essay about what Memorial Day means to him. "I come here to remind myself that I am one of the lucky ones," he said in reference to the venerated military cemetery. "Serving my country was the greatest honor of my life, but not everyone gets to come home to their family and loved ones like I did. More than 1.1 million American servicemen and women didn't get to do that. To me, Memorial Day is about all of them," he added. Villanova noted that how the Day of Remembrance originated in 1868 in the aftermath of U.S. Civil War as means to bring the country together in mourning for the hundreds of thousands of lives that had been lost in that terrible conflict. After World War I, the day was expanded to include all military service members who had lost their lives in war, prior to becoming an official federal holiday in 1971. Today, decorating graves is not the first thing that comes to mind when most people think of Memorial Day. It's about sharing moments of happiness with the people that we have lost the most. Villanova said, "Our focus is often what we have and not what we have lost." Villanova proceeded to share the story of one particular soldier he had served with and lost in Afghanistan, a comrade he would never forget. "A young man, a kid, really, named Jesse Dietrich," he said. U.S. Army speak, Dietrich was a Texan who had enlisted at 18 to provide for an infant son, and he, Villanova, served together as part of the famed 10th Mountain Division. "On the night of August 25, 2011, we were called to interdict some members of the Taliban," Villanova recalled. "We were ambushed. Jesse didn't make it. He was 20-year-old, and he left behind a 2-year-old son named Kevin. So, if you do one thing this Memorial Day, think about those who sacrifice. Think of the 1.1 million and their families," Villanova said. "I think all about my friend Jesse, who was buried in the plains of Texas under an oak tree, older than the holiday itself, and thinking about the grave being decorated today by the son who never got to know his dad. We can only laud Villanova and thank everyone else who has put on the uniform to fight for and serve our nation, but in truth, Memorial Day is not for uniform and men and women like him who served and came home, but for men and women like Jesse Dietrich, who sacrificed their lives so that others may live in freedom and prosperity. We join Villanova in mourning his loss, as well as other 1.1 million who made that incredible sacrifice, and we pray that families of those who are lost will find peace and strength to preserve and honor of those who never came home. Please, if only for a brief moment on this holiday, forget about the barbecue or beach party or whatever else is going, and focus your thoughts on those who are no longer here to enjoy the freedom to grill and go to the beach and to be with friends and family, as well as those grieving souls will always sorely miss their lost loved one. Please share this video with your friends and family. Thank you. God bless you."